I'm Abby Walton.
And I'm Zak Dahlheimer. We are covering damage all across North Florida from today's storms. And we begin tonight with a look at the incredible impacts in Panama City Beach. Federal data shows Tallahassee International Airport is the most expensive in Florida. Take a look at this graphic behind us. You can see these are the average prices per ticket here in Tallahassee since 2019. Prices plummeted during the pandemic and steadily rose for 3 straight years before a slight drop this year.
An economics professor from Florida State tells us it's largely our geography and the type of traveler through our airport that is driving these costs. Okay, take a look at this graphic here on your screen right now. We've pulled just Florida airports from the government data list of more than 400 airports. The average ticket price out of Tallahassee is more than $500. By comparison, the average ticket out of Jacksonville is just $400. Beyond Carter's time as president, perhaps the most endearing image of Jimmy Carter was that as a South Georgia man, a humble farmer who kept close ties with the place that he came from.
Yeah, from his church to his boyhood home, he loved his roots and they loved him right back. Jamie Worsley has more from his hometown of Plains, Georgia.
Did you know that during his presidency, President Carter appointed more women, African Americans, and Hispanics to judgeships and senior positions than all 38 of his predecessors combined? His belief in diversifying government starting in local and state politics, opening up new opportunities for people like 2 Tallahassee women who credit their time with Carter for inspiring them to go into public service.
This has been a big talker, of course, all day. CBS News put together a list of possible names that could join Harris on the Democratic ticket as her running mate. Now, right here we have about a dozen names. These are governors, senators, Biden cabinet members, some getting a lot of attention while others are considered by some to be long shots, but all of whom, however, have announced their public support for Harris to be the party's presidential nominee. Now, one big name getting a lot of traction this political cycle is this man here, California Governor Gavin Newsom.
I just love talking with Beth and Terry about their time with President Carter. And again, Zach, the numbers really are staggering in terms of the diversity that President Carter brought to the executive office and federal judiciary. In fact, by the time that he left office, he appointed 41 of the 46 women serving as federal judges. And get this, one being this lady right here, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. In fact, she said during an interview, she didn't even know that becoming a Supreme Court justice was even possible for a woman until President Carter decided to make the judicial system look more like America. When I heard that, I couldn't believe it. It's part of his presidency that I don't think a lot of people know or realize.
There's one name that's been getting a lot of buzz on social media, and that is the Transportation Secretary, Pete Buttigieg, the 42-year-old former mayor of South Bend, Indiana, Afghanistan war veteran, whose 2020 presidential run was historic, the first openly gay man to launch a competitive campaign for president and first gay candidate to earn primary delegates for a major party's presidential nomination. He also, Abby, has been known for his appeal for young voters. I'm going to go ahead and bring it back to the full field here. A couple of other big names being floated around: Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear and Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker. So, Abby, lots of possible choices as Vice President Harris officially starts her presidential campaign a few weeks before the DNC. Tomorrow will mark 1 week until Election Day, and you'll want to take a look at your ballot before then because it is filled with lots of state amendments to consider.
Our Capitol Bureau reporter Cody Butler has been breaking down the statewide changes up for a vote all week and has more on Amendment 5. The highest profile amendments are 3 and 4, dealing with recreational marijuana use and abortion access. But we also explain 1, 2, and 5. You can find breakdowns on those right now on WCTV.tv, and make sure you're informed before casting your ballot. Remember, Florida requires 60% of voters to vote for these amendments in order for them to become a law.
Candidates are now in the final week of making their pitch to voters. You see right here, the countdown is on to Election Day. People cast their ballot not only for for the major offices like the presidency, but also those local offices and state amendments.
And many are not waiting until November 5th. In the Big Bend, early voting turnout so far is topping 120,000. Even with the large number, Leon County Supervisor of Elections Mark Early says he's still urging people voting by mail to get in their ballots as soon as possible.
WCTV has received and reviewed Leon County's after-action report for the May tornadoes. This report details the personnel and supplies that went into recovery and the damage done. That includes more than 170 destroyed structures and more than 1,400 buildings damaged in some way.
The Panhandle getting hit especially hard today. What you're seeing here is from Bay County and Panama City. Many of you know that this was hit hard by Hurricane Michael a little more than 5 years ago. The video now that you're taking a look at is from Panama City Beach. This is coming from our sister station there, WJHG. You're taking a look at the east end of the city, right around Treasure Island Marina and Treasure Island Resort condos. That's not too far from St. Andrew State Park. And that's what breaks my heart, especially for that particular area. They saw so much destruction just a little more than 5 years ago, and now having to rebuild some of them all over again.
Yeah, Hurricane Michael, I mean, still fresh in their minds, obviously, but what's inspiring too is what officials there were talking about, the mutual aid coming together to help them out today. Just very, very cool to hear about that.
Well, today, our Stacey Inez and photojournalist Sam Thomas, they talked with a woman also in Jackson County who was actually inside her RV this morning when it flipped over.
She suddenly found herself underneath everything she owned. Now take a look at how she's trying to pick up the pieces.
Severe weather out by the afternoon, and take a look this evening right outside Doak Campbell Stadium in Tallahassee. Again, everything's pretty much back to normal. It's been a wild day weather-wise.
It has been a wild 24 hours, that's for sure. Chief Meteorologist Mike McCall joins us now tonight after a very busy day. And Mike, we appreciate you, Rob, Austin, Josh, all of you with our weather team leading our coverage throughout all this with the system. It's incredible seeing the impacts around the Panhandle, and thankfully it'll be quiet for a bit.
That's what we do. Mike's on air, Austin's on the digital desk.
All bases covered.
We have you covered. Thank you guys for hunkering down with us tonight. Of course, our weather team will be here throughout the night. Make sure you get regular updates on the storm. If you haven't already, please download that First Alert Weather app. You can do that by going to your phone's app store, or you can scan the QR code you see right there on your screen. It is free. You can check radar and make sure you receive any local warnings. Our entire sports team has been staying on top of this story from the beginning. Sports Director Ryan Kelly is first up with our team coverage tonight. And Ryan, there has been so much reaction today from everyone around the sports world and this community about those who were close with 11.
Well, the big news this afternoon, we are continuing to follow breaking news with the verdict in the historic criminal trial of former President Donald Trump. This afternoon, a jury found the 45th president and presumptive Republican nominee guilty on all 34 felony counts of falsifying business records.
For the very latest on this case, we want to send it out live to our D.C. Bureau correspondent Brendan Cullerton. He joins us again from D.C. this evening. And Brendan, break down this verdict for us. Guilty on all 34 counts.
John, thank you for being with us here today. First off, tonight's a big night on the 2024 campaign trail. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley will square off tonight in the final debate before the Iowa caucus. Also, multiple outlets are reporting this afternoon that former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie is ending his presidential campaign. So break down the latest for us from the campaign trail, especially what's at stake for Governor DeSantis and former Ambassador Haley, and how is former President Donald Trump spending his final days before the Iowa caucus?
All right, John, let's go to the Hill today, where earlier President Biden's son Hunter made a surprise appearance before the House Oversight Committee. What was behind this unexpected appearance today, and what's the likelihood that he will actually be charged with contempt of Congress?
The court says former President Donald Trump and anyone who serves as president can have full immunity for official acts. However, current or former presidents do not have immunity for unofficial acts.
All right, as you can see, it's complicated ruling and not totally clear at first. That's why we want to bring on our D.C. Bureau correspondent Stetson Miller to explain the basics for us. He actually joins us live from outside the Supreme Court this evening. Stetson, break down this ruling for us.
Historic, unprecedented, just a couple of words to describe the news coming out of New York City today. Our Washington correspondent Brendan Cullerton joining us live from D.C. Brendan, thank you for breaking all this down for us. It'll definitely be interesting to follow from both a legal and political perspective.
Welcome back, everybody. In consumer news, inflation looks like it's starting to creep up again.
Yeah, it had dropped to 2.4% in September after hitting 9% just 2 years ago. And tonight, Kelly O'Grady is sharing new data and how it could affect how much we spend. They call it the greatest show on dirt, folks, for a reason. Tonight marked the first matchup for the Seminoles going against the top-seeded Tennessee Volunteers. And, you know, the game was just wrapping up. We were watching in the newsroom, and what a game it was.
Well, this is actually why you're joining us right now, Cindy, because that game just ended, and our sports director, Ryan Kelly, is out there trying to get some post-game sound, and we can't really show you the highlights. You're helping us. Let's go to weather right now. Okay, we are taking a live look. This is actually Omaha, the stadium there at the College World Series right now.
I think you can see Ryan Kelly maybe somewhere. There he is running right there along the third base line right there.
Yeah, exactly. Chief Meteorologist Mike McCall joins us now. Mike, I wish we could have a camera on you watching the game. How are you feeling right now, buddy?
Let's just move on to the weather, shall we?
You know, okay. We have 2 more games though.
Absolutely, still alive.
Josh, what about Santa though? Have you visited Santa yet? Are you on the naughty or the nice list?
We need some intel,
break
man.
that
Come
down
on.
for you?
I haven't been to Santa yet because the event is kicking off right now, so we got to let the kids get a chance, but I'll make sure to get back there and let them know what I want for Christmas as well. Don't worry.
All right, just
you gotta make sure you're on the right side of the list, man.
That's true.
I just love how it looks like Buddy or Hermes like right behind him.
I know. I love it. Thank you so much, Josh. We'll check back with them at 6.
How cool is that, though? I mean, you were telling me about Elf Night and just how fun it is.
Elf Night was one of the very first events that I did when I was here. I love it. It's a great night. Now, if you are not going to Elf Night and you need to head out along Thomasville Road, just maybe take an alternate route. Traffic a little busy there.
Just something to keep in mind. But thankfully, if we're speaking about weather, it is cooperating, at least for Elf Night. Great night to go out to Oven, or at least to see maybe some other holiday displays. Chief Meteorologist Mike McCall joining us now for a check of the Thursday night forecast. And Mike, Josh looked like he was having a great time out there. I mean, we got the hot cocoa. I will say, though, I mean, Abby and I were talking maybe just a little bit cooler outside, just to get in the holiday spirit. Well, Abby, it's almost that time. We can practically hear those bells ringing now.
Oh, so excited. We are just a little more than 12 hours away from our 11th annual WCTV Red Kettle Takeover Day for the Salvation Army of Tallahassee. We'll be out at the Walmart on Thomasville Road in Tallahassee tomorrow. That's starting at 6 a.m. and going until 6:30 p.m. I've got the early shift, ringing the bells for the Good Morning Show. I will definitely be bundled up after Mike's forecast, collecting your donations over the past 10 years. This is awesome. You guys have helped us raise more than $55,000 for the Salvation Army and their services in Leon, Gadsden, and Wakulla counties. We would love to see you guys in person out at Walmart tomorrow, but if you can't make it, no worries. We do have ways you can donate online. We'll have a link to that on our website at WCTV.tv.
And like you said, it's amazing over the past 10 years how much money's been raised by you all, and the money stays right here in the community. And it's so cool how passionate you are being involved in the Salvation Army. I know this is special to your heart,
It's a great day. It's always a great day. Looking forward to seeing everybody.
And it's so much fun being out there ringing the bells, too. So come on out. We'd love to see you at the Walmart.
We do have a Hoosier at this table. What is the mood in Indiana as
I was
IU
talking
gets
to
set to play
Jacob
Notre Dame?
about people are losing their minds. Like, can you imagine you have Rudy versus the Bobby Knight School,
Well, it's
where football is not even, like, what?
She's got IU red on right here.
I'm excited.
Well, it's a goodbye in the Big Bend, 5 decades in the making. Students, staff, family, friends at North Florida Christian all celebrated Mr. Jim Leeser, who's retiring after, get this, 52 years of working there. Now, he started as a 5th grade teacher back in 1972 and has gone to many other roles, including a curriculum director, assistant principal, and guidance director.
For more than a decade, he didn't miss a single day of school, and they say he serves with a heart of gold. The people who know him wanted to recognize his decades of service and the literal thousands of students he's impacted over the years. Both my parents were educators. Bravo.
Yes.
Bravo.
Hats off to you, Mr.
Way to go.
That is
what a ride.
Incredible. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Have a wonderful evening. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Be kind, be well.